Up to Steph Curry, who sat down moments ago after his 47th career postseason 30-point game.
Is this maybe the most complex defensive series from a game plan, like within the game, changing defensive coverages up that you guys have had?
Yes and no. Like, there's a lot of communication because we switch defenses a lot throughout the game, but what we're trying to do is pretty straightforward in terms of giving Luka a lot of different looks because he has the ball in his hands pretty much every possession. So you have to, as long as we're on the same page, you know you're going to send a lot of bodies at him. You're going to have to rotate and whatnot. Where we get in trouble is if we try to switch when you're on the fly and not everybody's on the same page, so you give up something. But from man to zone or box, whatever it is, like those are pretty straightforward defenses that we've practiced pretty much all year.
Steph, when you take a look at that box score, what sticks out to you?
109 to 100.
And Looney's just been consistently grabbing boards for you this series. Another game with 12 rebounds. I mean, how helpful has he been inside the paint in this series and on the road tonight?
It's a testament to how things change in the playoffs, you know, from series to series, even series from game to game, where you have to have everybody stay ready. If you asked Loon game 4 of the Memphis series, like, how do you feel? He probably would have said that not knowing what was about to happen. And he comes in game 6, makes a huge difference, has a, career night rebounding ball. In this series, he's had career nights and had an amazing impact every night. So it's how we do things, obviously, with everybody being a part and being a factor at some point, but it's how the playoffs go. And you just love to see a guy get rewarded for, staying ready.
Steph, when did you, I guess, come to the realization that when you get into these moments that Wiggins was a guy who could be with you, and Steph and Clay and Draymond? Like, when did it hit you like, this is somebody, if we're in that moment, he's going to be good with us?
There's no moment that said that. From the time the trade happened, that was the idea of what he could do to impact games for us defensively, his athleticism. He was a 20-point scorer, so he knew how to put the ball in the basket, but he would be asked to do it a different way and balance, with the rest of the guys. But we've been preaching that since he joined the team a little over 2 years ago, and it's amazing to see it happen under the bright lights. Like, you don't know how a guy's going to respond, when they're asked to do what we're asking him to do at this stage in the season, in the playoffs. And you have the highest hopes, but he's stepping up, and that's only because of his approach and his attitude and him just being a gamer. And what we're asking him to do is, guard the best guy on the other side, make it difficult on him, be aggressive offensively, take what you see. What he's doing, rebounding the ball, has been awesome. And even just his comfort level to put pressure on the rim. Like, we don't have that much vertical threat, with other guys that we have, and he can provide that when driving lanes are there. You see him just attack the rim, get to the foul line. The dunk he had, the putback he had, like, all that stuff matters.
Steph, what happened there on the sideline? Were you just simply tripped, and were you a little upset by that?
Yeah, man, like, it was 30 seconds before halftime. If you order a drink, just wait till halftime. It's like, right, I don't know why they needed to deliver it right then. Thankfully, I was all right, but hopefully that guy, he was doing his job, so hopefully he got a big tip.
And before that, was there a little words between you and the Mavericks bench, or what was going on there? It was like kind of everybody came together there for a little bit. You celebrated the 3 by running all the way to the other side, and then it took a long time for you to
Oh, no, it was just playoff words being exchanged from everybody. There's a lot of parties involved on that one.
Steph, going back to Andrew, does it add to your motivation to see a player like him who had to go through some rough stretches early in his career? Does it add to your motivation to see him have the success in his first playoff run?
It's just a testament again to the vision of the fit that he was going to be when the trade happened. The fact that we know we needed everybody to step up for us to get back to the stage and for us to win one playoff series, let alone get to where we are right now. It's not motivation, it's more an excitement that we can do it a different way with a guy that hasn't been at this level yet, knowing he was an amazing scorer, his journey through the league, that he could figure out how to impact winning. That's all we keep saying, just find a way to impact winning. Loon's been doing it. Wiggs has been doing it. JP's been doing it. So that's how we do things.
Steph, did you see Luka's shimmy, and can you give your professional critique of it?
I didn't see it. I gotta go look. I'll do some homework and I'll get back to you on that one.
Also, there was some talk before this series that this was the changing of the point guard. There was you versus the young guy. Did you get any motivation from that? Like, talk about comparisons between you and Luka?
Y'all know I hear everything. That's not the motivation, though. The motivation is the fact that we're back on the stage with the opportunity to chase a finals appearance again after 2 years of hiatus, and like I said, being back with our core, but with a new cast of characters that says an opportunity to do something special. So I don't need any extra motivation. It's just trying to take advantage of the opportunity, and they're not gonna come. You shouldn't take it for granted. There's a limit to how this goes.
26 series now in a row with a road win. Is there a thread that you can see when half the team is new?
Yeah, me, Clay, and Draymond, and even Andre on the bench, helping us out, being our voice, our eyes and ears. We all just know how to win. And we love those type of grind-out games where it might not be pretty from start to finish, but you just figure out a way to make impact plays at the right times and come out with a win. Like, it's a good feeling to come on the road against a team that has been playing amazing in this building. Especially if you look at just how the last series went with them, in a 2-0 hole, coming back and dominating at home. Like, that's a big win. There's a lot that goes into making that happen, and everybody stepping up and contributing.
Steph, we all seen how this season kind of came together. You start off well, but the little struggles, and then Draymond gets hurt, you get hurt, you're not even back to the playoffs. At this moment, with the way the pieces have come together, do you feel like this team is ready to win a championship?
I'm not going to fast forward. Like, we're playing great basketball right now. We can play better, but we're finding ways to, like I said, win games, and that's how you piece this thing together. Like, there's no expectation other than what's the challenge ahead of us, and the challenge now is to close out a series against a really good team to get back to the opportunity to win the finals. Like, if you ask us, we talked about it when the playoffs started, like, we had high hopes, and we still do, to win a championship, but we had no idea what it was going to look like. And our goal was to keep getting better as the playoffs went through, because we were so far from our peak with everything that you said going into how the season ended. So that's not lost on us, but it's exciting knowing we have an amazing opportunity on Tuesday to come out the West.
You said the team could play better. What are a couple of things you'd like to see improved on in Game 4?
There's just times throughout the game where we kind of get a little scattered, get a little rushed, especially offensively. Did a better job of taking care of the basketball, which is always a key for us, and rebounding. But there's just times where we get a little bit more organized, and you need to take advantage of those stretches of the game because, especially on the road, those can dictate a win or a loss if you let a team get momentum. Especially if you kind of play into their hands a little bit. There was a moment there in the end of the first, early second, where we were up, I think, 10 or 11. They clawed back to 3, which they're supposed to do, but it's a lot of stuff that we can kind of tighten up in terms of what we're trying to do offensively. Our defense has been amazing. The effort's been great. Flying around, trying to make it tough on them, even Luka getting 40, a lot of that's from the free throw line, but we can still do, we still make him work. So offensively, we just got to continue to get better.
Just going back to Tim's question really quick, would you say like this might be the most gratifying season for you guys, just because of everything?
Gratifying season?
Gratifying season, just because of everything you guys had to go through just to get here. Obviously, it's always an immense accomplishment to get to this point, but
I mean, we'll see.
Steph, how much of a factor do you think Wiggins being with you guys, losing in the play-in last year, not making the playoffs, and kind of that? I mean, you guys kind of built this coming up, losing to the Clippers, and building that kind of character. Him having that with you guys, do you think that has had any impact?
It's a great call. It's a great, that last 20 games we had last year, we went 15-5 and clawed our way to the AC, and we lost those 2 playoff games. He felt the intensity. That was one of the things we talked about last year. Like, we gave it everything we had down the stretch to even get to that position. We would have loved to have a playoff series to kind of go through those reps and see if we could have put something together. But those 2 playing games and those last 20 games were great for us to build an understanding of how you value every possession, the intensity you need to have to win games like that. We obviously finished the season strong record-wise, but didn't reach the ultimate goal. He felt all of that. JP felt all of that. And it's carried over to this year for sure. And it's carried over into this playoff run where he seems just very composed and under control and understanding what he needs to do on a nightly basis. And I hope he feels the recognition for, it's not just what it looks like in the stat sheet, it's what it looks like from the eye test and how it impacts the game and how it impacts us winning.
Is that your favorite Wiggins dunk?
Absolutely.
You like the Towns one early in the year.
Huh?
You like the Towns one early in the year, though.
Oh, that's that.
Just
fourth quarter and a big win, not just because it was Luka's, because it was the way it looked. It was unbelievable. And we got to see it 800 replays because of the challenge. So appreciate you, Mark. That was nice.
all right. Is that it?
Yeah, they'll be talking about that dunk for a little while.